What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a 2003 mixtape by DJ Green Lantern, basically Eminem's DJ on Shady Records as far as this fair's going to happen back in the 2000s. Basically this product is called The Invasion Part 2 Conspiracy Theory, and it came out in the summer of 2003. So I missed this product. The previous Invasion had some hit songs on there, definitely pretty classic type of feel, banner type mixtape out of that particular era and fold that covered like the Eminem and Benzino beef, and also had the early days of 50 Cent and Obi Trice and D12, some of those type pitches within the format. Definitely pretty banner type one, up there with like some notable mixtapes. Eminem did not do a ton of mixtapes throughout the 2000s. He was pretty centered in the 2000s before that particular product kind of happened. So it's just kind of within the pitch as far as saying 50 Cent did some of those type of ones, and other folks, Obi Trice, D12 did some mixtapes, but Eminem never really got towards it. But there were some ones affiliated with it when Eminem got like a DJ and pitches like that. This has like some bonus kind of extra treats and some of those type fares within the pitch behind it. And the previous one, like I was saying, had some diss songs towards Benzino and some of those type fares, just secret kind of palatable snacks within the format of like head shop type music and good Taco Bell and neighborhood type runs just within the aspect. It's within the aspect of city traffic. But this particular one, not quite as much head shop and more neighborhood surfing with the pitch, but it does have the product of just like good, just in between type fashions, just a little bit more. It feels like a miniature kind of album in a lot of circumstances. Just the pitch behind it. Some of these type of songs out this project wound up surfacing 20 years later on the Eminem Show Expanded Edition from 2022, which unfortunately kind of takes some of the wind out of this project's sails, but not as full bound. Like I would have said, just to say, out of the 24 songs on this mixtape, there's 25 songs on here, not counting the intro, so out of 24 songs, wound up recommending 16 more or less, but the pitch behind it, at least 3 of those are songs that were on the Eminem Show Expanded Edition from 2022. So I'm still going to talk about those songs because I don't think I talked with descriptions to that flagrant degree back in 2023, back when I was reviewing some of those type ones, but I would have to say it still minorly takes the wind out of the sails. So originally I was going to give this mixtape like an 8.25 out of 10. I would have said within the pitch it's going to get a 7.75, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying that it is pretty damn good within the aspects of it. It's just the fact that some of the exclusives are natched, and there's just a little bit more drabness about this particular product this time. Not as full bound, but it's just the pitch as far as saying, I feel like because it's just the factoid that some of these other type folks just don't come through as full bound within the pitch. I feel like the Eminem and Eminem affiliated type songs are still as heavy hitters as much as they always were. Obi Trice, D12, some of these type folks. Just pitches like that, you get some good 50 Cent and Lloyd Banks type songs, pitches like that, some of that type fare on here. But outside of the shady fold, it just kind of, I feel like these green mixes, or at least within the formats of some of this stuff, there is a pretty good Jay-Z freestyle, which is pretty dope on here to kind of get his off a song that particular I thought was like a remix to like a song, but apparently Jay-Z did a freestyle to If I Can't by 50 Cent, which is a good type tone. I thought that was, I don't know if that was actually an official song that they did together, or it's just within the pitch as far as saying that was just a freestyle, but either way, it's a good type one. But for the most part, a lot of these other type folks don't have as full bound kind of the velocity within the pitch behind, but it's just within the pitch. I mean, this is kind of the early stages. This was only DJ Green Lantern's seemingly second product, but it's just within the pitch as far as saying, I mean, this is pretty excellent within the appeal. A lot of these secret songs are pretty heavy hitting. Like I said, I feel like this is like a mini album here, just because a lot of these do have the quality. There's not as many freestyles this time, where the previous Conspiracy had a lot of freestyles, more so than the impact of the actual full bound songs. There's more full bound songs in here, and I do like some of these green mixes type remixes within the aspect of it, at least the ones that are more focused on Eminem and 50 Cent, some of those type folks. But within the pitch, DJ Green Lantern is definitely, he's pretty good. Just be able to say DJ Green Lantern is pretty good at finding like new verses to kind of throw for mashups on like songs that are already popular. He did a pretty good job with that with like Magic Stick, which was a hit song out of 2003. Both the spins on like Lil Kim and 50 Cent's verses on that particular song are pretty excellent within the tone as far as getting that particular fare. Lloyd Banks has a pretty nice one on here with What Goes Around, or What Comes Around, some of those type pitches within the pitch behind it. And so I like these particular mashups in terms of these green mixes, kind of a good format for it. But just to be able to say, yeah, there's some of these new tunes on here, like this particular project is more like to carry with like a theme of this product, the heroment about, I mean, this has like a pretty good packaging within the aspect of like the format of what goes along with it, but it's within the pitch that a lot of the centering of the theme, from like paying attention to like the product of this album, is paying attention to the Ja Rule beef that Eminem and 50 Cent were kind of getting into with this particular folk around this time. It has some secret songs on here, like nowadays within the fashion, like another song that was kind of on another project was Do Re Mi, which is on Eminem Straight from the Lab, which was an unreleased album as he was working on Encore in 2003 and 2004. That got leaked in 2003, but it's just the pitch as far as saying that that particular song Do Re Mi is on here, which is in an official type format if you don't want to pick up like a bootleg copy of something. And songs like Hail Mary and Bump Heads and the Conspiracy Freestyle, some of those type pitches deal with the Ja Rule beef. So that's what Eminem was up to in the summer of 2003. 2002 is about the Benzino beef with Eminem, at least what he's up to on this particular album or this particular mixtape. Conspiracy to the or Invasion Part 2, the conspiracy theory, has to deal with like the Ja Rule beef as far as this first going to happen. But the unfortunate thing within the aspect as far as talking about the Eminem songs that are on here is he put the songs that he was on in the original type fashion. Like Bump Heads is actually an original song within the pitch, but it wound up on the Eminem show expanded edition from 2022. But for the most part, I mean, for 20 years, it was the concept being able to say that it was exclusive. This product was just within the appeal as far as saying that's the aspect. But yeah, so there's 10 songs of this product that I recommend within the pitch, plus 3 songs that are almost songs because they're on the expanded edition or straight from the lab. The Jay-Z freestyle is a nice one. I'm not going to talk about that one just because the pitch is just him freestyling the If I Can't by 50 Cent. And then there's 2 songs that are on projects from 2003, like We All Die One Day, which is on Obi Trice's album, and then Keep Talking, which is on D12's D12 World. So 10 songs I recommend would be 8 Miles, Hail Mary, Magic Stick Green Mix, PIMP Remix, Two Guns Up, Wrong, Party Over Here, Synopsis, Suck My Dick, and What Goes Around Green Mix. So to be able to get to some of these. So I'll talk within the fashion as far as talking about some of these type of ones. I'll get to like one of the immediate ones that was exclusive to this product and continues to be is Hail Mary, but this is pretty much just like Eminem, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes rapping to like Hail Mary by Tupac. Excellent type pitch. Get this here. It's an interesting kind of get Eminem just annihilate this song, 50 Cent doing the same thing, and Busta Rhymes. Some of these type folks just being able to do it. It's like a nice secret kind of screw around tune, I'd have to say, within aspects of it. Just jabs at Murder Inc., I'd have to say, within the pitch behind it. Just Eminem and like some summer ride out type music just within the pitch. So this just feels like if Eminem would have been around in 2006, 50 Cent would have been around, or not. If Eminem, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes would have been around in 1996 having some of those ride-out type tunes just within the same format as Hit 'Em Up and Hail Mary, some of those type pitches with just that ravenous kind of Outlaws and Tupac type energy. Just within the pitch, it just like more kind of heat wave type heat within the pitch. It just, I mean, it's not as full bound. Like when you think of Eminem and 50 Cent kind of being on more ride-out type energy within the pitch is something that Tupac would kind of do with like those particular rumblers like Ambitions as a rider and Hit 'Em Up, some of those type pitches within the format. Wasn't as particular Eminem really did that. It was full bound. It's just the pitch of getting some of that type air. If you ever were like, well, what would Eminem sound like on a Tupac song? It's like the closest thing as far as those formats kind of happen. It's just within the pitch. It really has that particular type energy for like some neighborhood surfing just ripped out of 1996 just with a more formatted like 2000s type fashion. The Magic Stick Green Mix is a nice one here. It's like a more spicy and sleazy kind of revamped to Magic Stick from 2003, I'd have to say. Particularly 50 Cent's verse on this song is to like a song which I think it's called, I forget what song it's called, but it's like, it's a Dr. Dre song off of 2001. I don't know if it's called Fuck You or something like that, but it's one that has Devin the Dude and Snoop Dogg on there. It's the Snoop Dogg and Devin the Dude collab. Well, I might put it in the connotation as far as those pairs going to happen. But later on in Lil' Kim's verse, it switches to 21 Questions beat as far as those pairs going to happen. So that's just basically Lil' Kim with her verse on like some Danger as far as those pitch can happen. Just Lil' Kim basically in like that Tuesday evening kind of city slag, just that traffic and just like the malaise and like the frustration of it as far as those pairs can happen. So it's a good type pitch having that, particularly bringing some new life to Magic Stick as far as those pairs can happen, making it kind of more of like this kind of, it's kind of that particular kind of makeshift dredge, some of those type pitches. So it's a good type format. Nice revamp of that particular tune. The PIMP remix is on this product, which is excellent type appeal. Now, originally, I do remember back in the day, MTV, VH1, some of those type pitches would play occasionally, like the 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg kind of PIMP remix. That was never on an album. If you buy Get Rich or Die Trying, it's actually not on there, but it's within pitch. I always wonder where that particular remix kind of was. Now, it's not in the true type song type format. It kind of goes right to a brief bit of 50 Cent's verse, then it has Snoop Dogg's verse, then it has another 50 Cent verse after that, but it's not in like the original song type format, which is unfortunate. It definitely could have been, but I do like the mixtape get up as far as this song particularly kind of went. I don't know if there's, I question if you can actually purchase that remix within the pitch. It just feels kind of more obscure in nowadays times, but it would be nice to get like a homebound, it would be nice to get like a homebound type song of that it would be nice to get like a homebound type product with that particular song on it, but this is like the closest thing. So PIMP remix, like a Pharrell New Spice, like classic 50, I'd I'd say here. This is how a remix needs to happen within some type pitch. This definitely had some bite back in 2003. This pimp type and perm Snoop Dogg back the way he was in the Doggy Fizzle days back in 2003, being on this particular era of like PIMP, some of those type pitches, then getting another 50 Cent verse, which is different from the one on his original song. Some good type pitches on here. It's like a ravenous kind of simp speak as far as those first gaps. So good type appeal. Wrong is a nice one. This has Conniva and Con Artist on it. Couple D12 members. So this is like D12 over vintage kind of DJ drama mixtape stole. It's like D12 over vintage kind of DJ drama mixtape soul as far as this pitch can happen. Just a starry-eyed kind of cold grit within the pitch behind it. Just some Wrong is like a starry-eyed kind of cold grit hustle song as far as this pitch can happen. Just a 2000s bomb as far as this pitch can happen. So this 2000s bomb diggy is what, some 2000s kind of bomb diggity is what I mean by that within those pitches. Just classic kind of highlight, just taking instead of like Killer Mike, a Lil Wayne or Jeezy, some of those type folks, just having a couple D12 members on there as far as those pitch can go. Good type appeals. Pretty good extra type tune on here would be Suck My Dick with Con Artist. Song Suck My Dick with Con Artist, like around the pad kind of dick around type song, kind of get within the aspects here. Just good song to lift weights too, briefly, some pitches like that. Just grab like a quick snack, some of that particular fare. It's kind of a drab type song, not drab in like a bad way, but just kind of extra moments, extra time, some of those type formats of it. Just kind of some dredges for those aspects kind of happen. Just waiting for a drop, some of those type pitches, just get ready to pop off a bit, but just kind of spare type moments within just like some this aspects of not quite being at a full blown type spot, or just wait for some things kind of within the aspect of it. But it's kind of more plotting type music, but has some good appeal. What goes around the green mix is a nice one. Now I've heard this particular song before. I don't recall where within the pitch behind it. It feels very NY like, just New York type fashion. It's like a familiar kind of city dredge kind of get within the aspects here. Lloyd Banks is on this song, does good with it. Basic kind of makeshift, I'd have to say some aspects for that. Just some day push, definitely. This just feels like some city horns and sirens type pitches that you'd hear just amidst like the traffic, like neighborhood kind of routines, like a busybody type sense. It's basic on the NY and Philadelphia type haze, some of those type pitches, more type places, Detroit, some of those type places, Chicago, some places like that, skyscraper type music. 8 Miles with Obi Trice is a nice one. It's like a city streets kind of routine weaving to kind of get here. Just definitely a good song to grab a sweet. By that, Swisher Sweet's what I mean by that. Just wide awake, kind of feel the night fog pitches like that. Just some good embrace as far as those fares going to go. It's definitely dope that Obi Trice provided like some new tunes on this particular project. Just the aspect of getting like some extra formats from him as far as those pairs can happen. Just him basically back in his Cheers days within those pitches. Just really feels like just city streets kind of hop pitches like that. Just kind of night surfing, kind of Taco Bell runs, some of those type formats. To just grabbing like a quick quesadilla or burrito, some of those type pitches within the format of it. Just good type of appeal. Good aspect there. Then Synopsis is a quality one like this one as well. As pretty good pitch with this, like a slumped and dizzy kind of festivity afterthoughts I'd say about this song here. Just like some grand and great kind of 40-ounce music, I'd have to say, just from Obi. Good pitches for that. A good song to float around to as far as this pitch kind of goes. So just the format when you think of songs off like the Slim Shady EP by Eminem, that's just a very drowsy and just kind of this very drowsy and sleepy type album within the pitches by Eminem. This kind of format, just some of that float around within the pitch. It just like Red Cup type music, but just a little bit where you have to sit down within the pitches behind it. Interesting type pitch. Get this from Obi Trice here. Two Guns Up by D Block is a nice one. It's like some evening kind of city surfing, I'd have to say. Just feeling gritty and driven. Songs like some feeling gritty, kind of driven traffic, I'd say, with an aspect of it. Just get shit done within the prospect. It's a great song to get shit done within the prospect of it, and it's like some city slick type noise within the aspect here. So this is another one amidst like the city, a little bit more within the city streets, less kind of within the traffic of it, like what goes around. That one's a little bit more peaceful, but Two Guns Up's a little bit more fleeting and paranoia and just more grit about it. But just that kind of just frenetic kind of ness of just like paranoia, just pitches like this, a little bit more grime and grit towards the just typical kind of Mobb Deep and 50 Cent type music from the early 2000s. Pitches like that is good. Jadakiss and Sheek Luch versus Two Guns Up has some good Jadakiss and Sheek Luch versus as far as those pitches can happen just within the format of it. It's a good type tone. Once again, some good city traffic just out in the wind of it. Good type of appeal, city slicking. And Party Over Here is a quality one. It's like an adventurous kind of Lloyd Banks gem to kind of get within the aspect. It's not typical for him to format with more folks like Raw Digga, which I would say was part of Flip Mode Squad, possibly some of those type pitches. Seems like a Busta Rhymes affiliate. It's like an upside down, kind of blurry house party slushiness, kind of get within the aspects of it here. So just kind of a swash type one. Same sort of format within Synopsis, of like by Obi Trice, some of those type pitches, but just a little bit. This one's a little bit more slumped within a more social type fashion. So it's just a pitch where there'd probably be more people. I feel like Synopsis a little bit more isolated, where maybe you're just on the walk home or pitches like that, just heading back to the pads and those type of appeals. But probably say Party Over Here is just amidst the product of like still having some gab left over and pitches like that, just kind of within the product of just more standard chats and just chats and kind of local kind of game speak as far as this pitch can happen. Just the slushiness of like the factors, some of that type of feel. Definitely like hearing Lloyd Banks on songs like this. Good type aspect, and Raw Dig is pretty good on here. It's a good type tone. But this be all said, I am going to talk about the 3 songs that are not exclusive anymore to this project: Bump Heads, Conspiracy, Freestyle, and Do Re Mi. Basically, Bump Heads like a red hot Eminem and G Unit song, so if you want songs with Eminem and G Unit on there, 50 Cent does not drop a verse on the song, but at least Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo do, so it's a good type pitch, getting the closest thing to like, for folks that always wanted Eminem and G Unit, it's one of the pitches that they did at least supposedly do one song. They might have done more, but they have at least done one. It's like a good Eminem G Unit song, vintage, kind of early 2000s, kind of shady snarl. It had to say within the pitch behind it. Just excellent aspects here. It just feels like We All Die One Day. I guess they did do another song. That Eminem did at least a song with Lloyd Banks. He's done a number of songs with Lloyd Banks, but it's a good type pitch, kind of getting some of that. Just very similar, like I was saying, to We All Die One Day by Obi Trice. Same sort of format, same sort of thumping overall presentation and candor about it. It's like some basic kind of this localized kind of house party kickoff pitches like that, are just more around the neighborhood type fairs. Maybe not so much full bound house party, but just like commotions of it, just pitches like that, where there would be movies like Stargate and Speed on, some of those type pitches within the format of it. Just kind of the format of this vintage kind of Eminem with G Unit along for the ride as far as this pitch can happen. Just to miss like the Ja Rule beef. Conspiracy Freestyle is a nice one as well. It's like a distorted kind of having to sit down kind of house party sludge. I'd say here just some residential slot. It's like some residential kind of Slim Shady as far as those aspects going to happen. So there is a fair portion of house party type noise off this product as far as those peels going to happen. This is Eminem's version. That particularly is just a quick freestyle, or a 2.5 minute freestyle within those aspects. Good type tone. It's just the pitch as far as saying getting some residential noise. I like the product of just getting some of these type ones, getting like house party noise from D12, getting house party noise from Lloyd Banks, getting house party noise from Obi Trice, some of these type folks, even getting house party noise from Eminem, and even like a fairly pretty banner type song. This feels like this could have been the single off this product. Is Bump Heads. It's just excellent type pitch of just, you would feel like this would be a typical kind of 50 Cent song. Bump Heads does kind of feel like a 50 Cent song in pitches, but it also feels like an Eminem song as well. So it's just good type pitches of this. It's too bad that 50 Cent didn't drop a verse on here as well. It was just within the pitch as far as saying that Eminem and G Unit may have good combos. Just be able to say this definitely something that should have been flourished a lot further within that, but it's good type of appeal. Conspiracy Freestyles like some upside down kind of distortedness, like I was saying, for house party sludge, and Do Re Mi is a quality one. It's like a highlight kind of D12 and Obi Trice diss as far as those pitches can happen, and they're dissing Ja Rule within those pitches. Like a fiery kind of prime era shady records that I'd say here within the pitch behind it. This reminds of like Rap Game from the 8 Mile soundtrack, so it's good type of appeal. Same sort of bite and just ravenous kind of lootiness that particularly happened within those particular eras. It's just the same aspect within some of that type of product, just more aimed towards Ja Rule within the aspect. This is a little bit more Night Ride out within the pitch, just a little bit more turned up and kind of aggravated, just more hair on edge within the pitch behind it. It's kind of a ruffled day within the form of as having to answer some things, get some straightening going within the pitch behind as far as what's going to happen. Bump Heads is more of like a house party type tune within a more kind of recreational type format, but this one feels more of like a hit 'em up type fashion by Tupac, just in a more night type fashion within the pitch, just saying, alright, middle fingers up, it's fuck you on sight, some of those type pitches within the format as far as, things getting ready to pop off, some of those type of appeals. So I look after within the tone has that aspect. But then yeah, the Jay-Z freestyle is just the pitch of talking about like freestyling to If I Can't by 50 Cent, good type tones for that. And then like We All Die One Day is off Obi Trice, and Keep Talking's off the D12. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying. So some of these songs I didn't recommend on here, like the previous time on the previous Conspiracy, there were a couple Benzino type clips that I liked off that product. I did appreciate like the Benzino diss song, but for the particular pitch this time, the Ja Rule bits on here are just not as compelling. I mean, I felt like the switch up on Freestyle Part 2 by Ja Rule is just not as affable. It felt like Ja Rule was kind of aiming for like a city slicking type one with an aspect of something similar to what goes around the green mix, but just a little bit more ruffled just than the pitch behind it. It's kind of the traffic of just like out and about within like the typical kind of noise of just NY type pitches within it, just more NY kind of bustle within the pitch, but this wasn't as affable. The first Ja Rule freestyle, there's kind of an interesting Eminem intro. On the first Ja Rule freestyle, there's some pretty dope Eminem intros and sarcasm on it as far as those first can happen, but the affable pitch behind the rest of the song just didn't hit as heavily. Then you look within the pitch as far as saying that some of these ones toward the end, like the Hum freestyle, is just not as pitchy. I mean, I feel like it had like some of these productions were a little bit better within the pitch compared to the ones on the first Conspiracy or the first Invasion. Was just the Hum freestyle is better than the one on the first Invasion. Was just within the pitch as far as saying, I just don't know the frequency of really knowing this cat is full bound well within the pitch. So I just question if this would be really like the only song I would mess with by him. It's just it's a little bit trickier to kind of mess with folks when you only have like this one shot of just saying you like this one particular song, and then that's really it within the format. There's just not much expansion growth within the pitch behind it. It's the same thing with FT. Now FT did at least freestyle to a Jay-Z beat, which is pretty nice. It's pretty blistering type beat on there, but it's the same sort of pitch of these folks just being one shot type folks. Patiently Waiting live is just with pitch. I do like the original Patiently Waiting, but this one is just the same sort of song, just them performing it. Some of these type ones on here, some of these green mixes, unfortunately, were just not as affable with other folks that were not in the shady fold, like Biggie and Cameron rapping to What Happened to That Boy was a novel idea within the pitch, but I don't know, within the format, it just kind of felt like a novelty within the pitch behind it. It's kind of, I mean, it has hammering type aspects of being clever enough within the pitch, but it just kind of, the conspiracy theory track with Fat Joe and Puff Daddy just didn't have as much affable kind of appeal. It just felt like more like probably should have been a 50 Cent song more than pitches like that. I mean, it has the relative pitch, but I just didn't see the affluence behind it as full bound. The freestyle, that was the Tony Ayo freestyle. He was in prison when he did it, so there's no real production on there, which just did not really have as much spark towards it. And then, yeah, like I was saying, the Ja Rule type ones just didn't have as much affability. So just looking at the pitch as far as saying, the pitch behind it is just more slag this time within the format of it. I do feel like within the pitch as far as saying, I do like the concept of Notorious B.I.G. If he would have actually had a real verse that he could have rapped to What Happened to That Boy, would have been pretty blistering. I think it was at least a low-key type one to be able to say, at least to say it's not a commonplace verse that you would have heard from Biggie within those formats. And Cameron at least did something new. Cameron was on that song as well, but it's just in the pitch as far as saying it just, I don't know, I just didn't have as much full-bound connect. And I look within the pitch as far as saying the same thing with like the Fat Joe and Puff Daddy type ones, just in the pitch as far as saying just more spare type moments within the format. But it's not like they're bad. It's just the pitch of this question and the ofteness of what will go along with it. It's just the format as far as saying Ja Rule freestyles didn't. And the point of this project is not to make Ja Rule look good. It's kind of within the format as far as saying it's not like I'm expecting that particular tangent. But it's just in the pitch as far as saying that there was. I mean, everyone in Shady Records was basically a pretty fiery, like fuck you type mentality to Ja Rule. So it's just in the pitch as far as saying it's not like they're gonna have one of Ja Rule's best songs and parade the guy as far as this pitch goes. It's not like I'm just kind of within the pitch behind saying I do fuck with Ja Rule. I do like his music within the pitch, but it's just the format. He just didn't have real starry type songs, blissful type songs on this project. I'd have to say that's probably, so yeah, I give this mixtape like a 7.75 out of 10. The social score I'll probably give. I liked a lot of the particular product of this mixtape as far as especially having some of these remixes and new songs on here are definite treats. Probably in certain fashions, like this has more type of appeal than the previous one. There were more kind of songs this particular time, more so than the previous Invasion, I'd have to say, within the pitch. This one has a little bit more actual songs within the format, apart from just Obi Trice and Eminem, which that was the first one that kind of did that. But this one has more stuff. Some of these remixes are really excellent. There's some house party kind of slumpage to kind of get here with an aspect, just like some Red Cup kind of dizziness, and just kind of just a little bit of just feeling kind of like drowsy and pitches like that, just kind of slump from like too much drink and pitches like that. Good remixes here. The only real natch, like I said, this would have gotten a higher score. This is a pretty solid enough follow-up. This would have been a lot more blistering had the songs remained exclusive. I mean, I realized Eminem wanted to put something new on like the expanded edition, but it kind of took away. I think it kind of was like a blow to this particular product, which is unfortunate. I think what Eminem probably should have done in retrospect in 2022 is he probably should have just taken songs that he had worked on during the Eminem show days, like some unreleased type ones, thrown that on the expanded edition as opposed to stealing songs from this particular project, because it just makes it lose the venom. I'd have to say it's just within the pitch as far as saying that it basically is like a backhanded kind of compliment within the pitch, because you look at the format, this is a pretty dope and overall fiery type product that probably could have had a lot more bolsterment and this overall fury had it kept the exclusive a little bit further. It's just within the pitch as far as saying, but on top of that, some of these extra type moments from other spare folks on here just don't hit as full bound within the pitch, but I look after it just a little bit. But the good news is you get more songs within the format. There's less freestyles. Well, the freestyles are pretty excellent, but it's just the pitch. You get more songs within the format as far as getting some new stuff for House Party Sludge and just City Tracking, City Traffic, some of those type moments within the pitch behind it. It's Eminem kind of in just like basic kind of flourish and just kind of more autopilot type mode, and 50 Cent same thing within the pitch. So I just look within the tones. That's the product. So social score, I don't know what I'll give the social score. Probably the social score would get like an 8.75. I'd look in the pitch because definitely the product of it is pretty good on here. It's just snagged by the fact that it just doesn't have more exclusives in the format. It does, but it could have had more. So it's just the fact of what I was just complaining about earlier when I said that Eminem should just use new songs for like the 2022 edition, but it's just been the pitch. So 8.75 social. In terms of future, like I don't know how many of these invasion type products there are as full bound. I know DJ Green Lantern probably at least has a series more mixtapes within pitches like that. I'd say within the tone, but I look after just being able to say virtual. I mean, more or less a very good type product. It may not be a classic, but it's like an arguable, pretty good type one. Definitely an excellent follow up. I think the first invasion is definitely a classic, but this one's just within the range of saying that's definitely a good follow up. Has more good looks than it does. It has some refreshing type noises on here that just have some good product. This one's a little bit more social with an aspect of this more kind of commotion and gathering type noise, but it's just in the pitch as far as saying there's some good moments on here. Yes, Eminem kind of like jostled himself in the format of just kind of taken away from the effectiveness of this product, but still good. But it had more steam originally in its earlier days.